Hi everyone, and welcome to Her Standards this week. This is the show that is all about celebrating women and the little and big achievements that we put on our names. Now, remember, this is the show that highlights stories about women, the stories that profile female role models, and the story that discusses issues objectively. I'm always extremely excited to bring to you and introduce to you to women that you need to know. On Her Standards this week, we are very privileged actually to be in the company of winners, not just Kenyan winners, but continental winners, because these are the award winners of the 40 under 40 Africa 40 under 40 awards, and I am in the company of 3 of them. But before I introduce them, I would like to tell you a bit about our location for today. We are at Tamarind Tree Hotel along Mombasa Road. Now, in order to get to know more about the services that are provided here, world-class services, very hospitable people, you need to log onto their social media platforms. They have very many offers, and of course you need to come and experience the services yourself. We are available across all social media platforms at KTN Home, and now we are available also as Queen Tambori on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but you can also talk to me on LinkedIn. My daughter also enrolled me on TikTok, so you might be lucky to find me there. Without much ado, let me tell you a bit about Africa 40 under 40 awards before we get to meet the winners of 2022, some of the winners from Kenya of 2022. So Africa 40 under 40 awards identifies, honors, and celebrates the continent's most influential and accomplished young business leaders under the age of 40. Do they look under 40? Now, these are the people who are committed to business growth, professional excellence, and community service, and have risen up the ranks on their companies or industries at a relatively young age. We are inspired. I'm inspired. I am just lying somewhere on that periphery. So when I meet people who are under 40, I get very excited, especially the ones who have set very high standards. Remember, this is a show where we also set high standards for women. So today, I'm actually joined by Tosif Dean. She'll be able to introduce herself. I have Christina Wor Ogola, and also with me, rocking the same hairstyle as me, apart from the color, we need to have a conversation, is Mary Ben Omolo. Now, these were Kenya's representative to Africa 40 under 40 awards, and they were able to bring home 6 awards actually, 6 awards, and there was one gentleman called Anthony Ngure who was among the winners with the 5 women. Today we only have with us 3 of them, but still we are very happy that we are able to host them. So ladies, karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Grace is my producer. Where is champagne, some confetti? What's happening? You're letting me down. This is a great fit, ladies. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? Okay, wait. Before you tell me how you're feeling, you need to know who you are. Let me start with Christine. Yes, Christine.
My name is Christine Ogola. I am a climate change adaptation specialist, so I work with the community and the most vulnerable people, which are the youth, persons with disability, and women, in trying to give them alternative ways of farming in order to adapt to the changing climatic conditions. And also, I'm a co-founder of a youth-led community-based organization here in Nairobi. It's called Youth for Sustainable Development. So we do strength and leadership development for our youth and community youth in the community, the most rural areas, and also try to strengthen and foster volunteerism, because that's where the youth get skills for their jobs. You know, you're told 10 years experience and you've just finished university, so that's where you get the experience from. Yeah.
Okay, so what did you win at Africa 40 under 40 awards?
I did win an award under community development with the youth empowerment initiatives that I do here in Kenya.
Oh, sorry, I'm asking too many questions. What does it come with? What does the award come with?
The award comes with a very, very heavy trophy, Africa, and also the certificate. But majorly, what I got personally is, the connections, having to live here, Maribel, and other people around Africa. So you leverage on that to see your next steps. How will you continue to foster stories in Africa and ensure that we are moving to a more sustainable development process and see how we can get Africa where it's supposed to be. Yes.
Oh, when did you think about joining, carving out a niche or a career in sustainable development?
Sustainable development.
What is it, first of all?
Sustainable development. Sustainability is using the resources that we have to ensure that our future generations also are able to use the resources. We don't deplete the resources, because right now everyone is moving to use as much as possible and make as much profit as possible. But we want to make sure that in as much as we're using the resources, we're also sustaining them to be able to make it present for the future generation. Yeah, so I did a course on community development, and it was a double course, community development and environmental studies. So from that, I started volunteering, and I started getting to love the process, to be part and parcel. And it's the everyday small accomplishments that make you want to do more in terms of sustainability. So that's how it drove a passion to be in that space. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'm sure your people, your community, your family, your support system, they're very proud of you. Is that your first award?
No, it's not. Last year I won a global award.
Girl, flex. You're not flexing.
Yeah, I did win a global award on livelihoods impact in the society. So it mostly revolves around training youth, empowering them with skills that they need, empowering them with entrepreneurship skills, employability skills, how to package themselves in interviews, in employment, how to get these intangible skills that they need. Communication is not taught in schools. Problem solving is not taught in schools. So give them a platform. And with that, with the works around that, and also trying to bring the youth to be forefront in fighting coronavirus when it started back in March 2020. So we did a lot of things, trying to get people in the community to be ambassadors of change, going to the community and spreading the word for, we need to sanitize, we need to wear our masks properly, we need to do this and that. And with that work around, prevention of the spread of corona is what led me to getting the award.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff, and congratulations. Tosif, did you travel to Accra, Ghana?
Yes, I traveled to Accra, Ghana.
How was that experience?
I think it was very rewarding and very satisfying. I think the minute I landed there, and the ladies will agree with me, we felt like we were in Mombasa. And it was really a great experience. I think initially I thought Ghana was just around the corner, but it was a good 5-hour flight.
And 5 hours?
A few stopovers here and there, but it was really a very rewarding and a very satisfying experience, I must say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, our viewers are yearning to know who Tosif Dean is. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Tosif Dean, and I'm a born, bred and trained Kenyan, third generation Kenyan. I'm presently working at the Mpisha Hospital in the capacity of a Chief Executive Officer. By profession, I'm an accountant with over 20 years of experience in healthcare business and administration. And the job that I'm presently working at, I think it's really something that I would say carves out my future for me, because healthcare is something that I'm so passionate about. And my mantra has always been that compassionate leadership is really key to driving results. I'm a mother of 3 very beautiful children, and and that's really me. Yes.
It's a big deal. Which category did you win? Health and wellness category?
Yes, I won in the category of health and wellness.
How did that make you feel?
Sorry?
How did it make you feel, the win?
I think initially, of course, the nominations and everything, I wasn't planning to travel, and I was like, no, I may not even win, you know, it's at such a Pan-African level, and I'm here just this, you know, Kenyan working at a hospital. And when I finally landed there and the nominations were announced, and Queen, you've got to believe me, my fingers were under my seat, and my husband was sitting next to me, and we had traveled with one of our colleagues at the hospital, and I told her, Jane, I don't think this is happening, you know, and my fingers were literally rooted, and finally when they said to 15, Nairobi, Kenya, and I was like, for a few moments, I just didn't move from the seat. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I kept on doing it. And my husband's like, can you get up now? Can you go get that award? So I think it was so satisfying, and not only for me at a personal level, but even for my country. It was such a proud moment that I'm taking this very beautiful trophy, a very nice shining medal, and a certificate back to my roots. I think it was so satisfying, and I'm very patriotic Kenyan, so it really meant something for me that night.
It did. Have you been recognized by, say, the Ministry of Health for that recognition?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not
What
yet.
are they
I
waiting
hope they
for?
do.
What are they waiting for? Do they know that they have a continental winner here? I think that's really amazing. You've talked about the process of nomination. How was that? Because maybe there's somebody who wants to be part and parcel of Africa 40 under 40, 2022?
Yes.
2023.
2023
Yeah.
now,
So
yes.
what does it take to be, you know, to sign up for the awards, and how intensive is the process? Is that process?
I would say the process is quite intensive. Initially, I didn't know who nominated me, but I have a strong feeling that it's definitely my PR and communications team at the hospital. So when I first received the email from Top 40 Under 40, you know, just like any Kenyan, are like, really, is this, you know, there? So of course I did a little bit of groundwork and everything, and I got in touch with the facilitators in Ghana, and I was like, what is all this about? I've received an email from you, and what is this award about? And then they said a lot of things to me, and I put my team on the ground, and I'm like, can you find out what this whole thing is about? Because it's really at a Pan-African level. And we did a lot of groundwork, and we studied the jury, who they were, and a part of the jury was none other than Chris Senanu, and we really had to find out about it. And I think the process was very intense. We had several phone calls leading up to the final interview. I was interviewed and asked several questions by the jury. That what do you do at the hospital? What have been your major achievements? And I think it was quite an intense interview that was carried out over Zoom. And then finally, of course, after the nomination, we were required to be there. And it was nice, but I'd say it was intense, and it was rewarding.
It was rewarding.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's your only award. Have you received any
Just
award?
recently, I received 2 awards. One for being one of the 30 most inspirational African Muslim women in the health and wellness.
Did you bring the trophies?
Unfortunately, I didn't bring them, but I would like to invite you to my office so that I can show them to you. It's really a proud moment, not only for the country, but even my hospital, at the Shah Hospital, the women who came to congratulate me. I think it's really heartening to know that people look up to, you know, like to see if, you know what, you're really making the hospital proud.
You're making an impact.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Definitely, if you send me an invite, if you want me to come alone, I will. If you want me to come with camera crew, we will all come.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much. Ben, finally, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When did you decide to chop off your hair? Let's start this conversation from here.
I've been having short hair for the longest time.
How many years?
More than 20 years now.
Okay.
More than 20 years.
Okay. They say that when a woman chops off her hair, she's about to transform the world, or something like that. And indeed, you transformed the world. You were nominated. You won in the category of Women Empowerment category.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so crazy about women empowerment. Please tell me about your award.
So actually, initially, I was nominated under hospitality because I ran a hospitality company. But to my surprise, on the award ceremony, I was pushed to women empowerment, which I believe it was an answer for what I was looking for. At that time, I was in this juncture of trying to continue with hospitality or concentrate fully under women empowerment. And on that day, it was an answered prayer for me, being under women empowerment.
Being under women empowerment?
Yes.
What exactly do you do?
So my name is Mary Ben Omolo. I'm an entrepreneur, inspirational speaker, and also I'm a mental health activist. Basically, I run a cleaning and pest control company. And my main focus is young single mothers. I employ young single mothers between the age of 20 to 32.
You're very
purely.
Specific about that?
Yes, young
Why?
Single mothers.
Why?
Because this is one category that is being stigmatized a lot in the society, on the social media, churches, everywhere. They're being stigmatized and nobody cares about them. You will hear they use very vague language when addressing to a single mother. And they don't understand how they feel. Nobody is able to, actually they're not given a chance to explain how they feel. How did they end up in this situation? Because the people, or rather the men who got them pregnant, they're walking freely.
True.
But they're there, they're being stigmatized, they're being insulted. Majority of them, you'll get they're unskilled. So I was almost becoming a single mother. I had a miscarriage in 2019.
Sorry about that.
And in that process of me healing and recovering, I asked myself, how many young girls are in this situation? How many got pregnant out of love, or how many got pregnant in marriages and they've been abandoned? And I'm here. At that time I was financially unstable because I had an issue with the company. And I asked myself, how many are in this situation? For me, I'm educated, I'm skilled, I'm able to fend for myself, but how many of them are in this situation and nobody is looking up to them? The only thing we are doing is insult them. And I realized this is what I want to do. I want to provide a solution for this group. And out of my pain came my gain, and I've been working with them.
Look at you now, well-deserved win. Might you know who nominated you?
No, I don't know. In fact, I knew about my nomination on someone's status, a friend. I was just seated and I was looking at people's status, and then I see she's written my name, congratulations to my friend Mary Ben and Rose. Rose was one of the award winners. And I was asking, what is all this about? Then she's telling me, it's top 40 under 40 Africa. I'm like, Africa? Not Kenya? Not Kenya. And I was like, okay, so where can I view the nomination? So she sends me a link to the Facebook page. So I go on the Facebook page and I see my name among the 63 nominees. And I was like, oh my goodness. I tried reaching out. I was asking the directors who nominated me. They've never said it.
To date, so you don't know who nominated?
So I don't know, but I'm very sure it's someone from LinkedIn.
Someone from LinkedIn?
Yeah.
What did that make you feel, that someone is able to recognize the, you know, the impact you're having in the community, and they're able to even nominate you for awards? How did that make you feel?
Actually, for the first time, it made me feel better about myself, because I wasn't doing it to be recognized. I was doing it out of pain, and I was telling myself, let me just do it so that I can make another person feel better, because there was nobody to look up for me. So I was like, let me just do it to look out for other people. And in the process, I was like, when I was doing it, I got shocked that even top 35 under 35, somebody else nominated me. And it gave me a sense of satisfaction that I'm in the right direction. And I said I'm not backing up, because there are days I would wake up in the morning and I just want to give up. Because, you know, you're trying, you're all alone, you're trying to make this work. Other people feel like you're doing nothing. There are those who will troll you, insult you. And when I saw the top 40 under 40 Africa, not even Kenya.
Not Kenya.
Like, no, not Kenya. Africa. I was like, yes, I'm in the right track. No giving up.
Who did you call as soon as you were... No, but when did you know you were winner in your category?
When okay, we didn't even know we won. We actually knew about the winning the night of the event. On 26th of March.
You received the invitation to go to Accra?
Yes. In fact, everyone was told to go to Accra, so you're going with uncertainty. You're in the flight, you're just going and you're consoling yourself. If I don't win, I've gone on a tour. That's it, yeah.
Well, if you're just joining us, this is Her Standards with me, Queen Tamori. Today I am hanging out with winners. I'm in the company of Africa Top 40 Under 40 winners. This is an award that recognizes young people who are coming up with progressive ways and initiatives that impact the society. I'm so excited to introduce them to you and, of course, share their stories. Remember, you can talk to us at KTN Home across all social media platforms. Talk to me on Facebook as Queen Tambori, but you can also get in touch with our winners today. Leo tunasherekea, tunapiga sherehe hapa Her Standards. I don't know, I think my guests are on social. They are youthful. So if they're not on social media, I'm going to judge them. So, Maribel, are you on social media?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes,
What do they call you?
Maribel Omolo, across all the social media.
There you had it. Tosif?
Yes, I am on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram as Tosif Dean.
Tosif Dean.
I
Christine?
am on LinkedIn, Facebook as Christine Ogola, and Twitter as Christina Ogola.
There you had it. If you want to engage our winners directly, ensure that you talk to them on social media, ask them anything. You know, one thing about being on social media, I just realized that it can earn you a nomination, because that is what Mary Ben thinks, that somebody must have picked her LinkedIn profile and nominated her for this prestigious award. We are just beginning the show, but we'd like to take a short break, pay some bills. When we come back, the gloves are off. Tunajiachilia. We want to talk about women in leadership, women celebrating themselves enough, blowing their own trumpet, and of course, the next awards that these trailblazers are aiming for. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Her Standards with me, Queen Tambori. Thank you for keeping it here every Saturday, 4 p.m. and of course every Tuesday morning hours. This is the show that highlights stories about women that you need to know. We profile female role models, trailblazers, women you need to know from different industries. And today we are in a celebratory mood. We are celebrating Kenya's winners of Africa Top 40 Under 40. I have with me Christine, Tosif, as well as Mary Ben. You need to know these women because they're doing amazing things in the different industries where they are at. Christine is in sustainability and development. Tosif is in the health sector as well as finance. And of course, Mary Ben is in women empowerment and entrepreneurship and also hospitality industry. So these are people who you need to look up to, you need to follow their lives. But today, for the purposes of the show, we are just celebrating the wins that they bagged and brought home. The first part of the interview, we were getting to know them a little bit, knowing who they are, what inspires them, and of course, the procedure that it took to be part and parcel of Africa's Top 40 and 40. Now, during this second part, the gloves are off. We want to discuss women empowerment in general. Remember, this is the show that highlights our issues that affect women objectively. But first of all, a big shout out to our hosts, and this is Tamarind Tree Hotel. For more information about the amazing services that are offered here, you need to log on to their website, log on to their social media platforms, get to find out more about the facilities that they offer down here. Now, without much ado, allow me to welcome back my host, Karibuni Sana.
Thank you.
Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
I realized time just flew.
Completely.
So that means we have to be very careful.
Yeah.
So I'll just go straight into it. Do you think that women do we celebrate ourselves enough? Do we blow our own trumpets enough for the world to see? It's open. It's open. Anyone can go first.
I can take this up.
Yes, yeah.
I think it would be, to answer in a yes and no format immediately, I would say it's not enough. I think women don't take enough time to be able to say that, I have achieved this. For example, in corporate setups, when women are given accolades and they are given achievements and, honored, they say, oh, such and such a person supported me. But I think we have to go out there and say, I supported myself first. I can do it myself. I don't have to say person A, B, C, D did it for me. I think that determination, that focus, but more importantly, the confidence needs to come from us women. We need to be our own cheerleaders. No one's going to come from outside and say to see, okay, you know, you can do this. You have to believe in yourself first. I think for us to first cheer ourselves is so important. And I think also the power to say no. Because of our attitude of always multitasking, we always say yes to almost everything. And it's great to say yes to many things. But I think sometimes we have to pause and say no. That is this worth my time? Am I going to be valued if I'm going to give my time to this? And where women don't feel respected, they should never walk into that place. I think respect is something that you demand and earn. If you feel not respected and if you're being treated like trash, a woman should never walk on that platform. And it is platforms through this that we are able to air our voice, we are able to share our experience and say that we are not less than men. Like for example, at the MP Shah Hospital, 64% of our workforce are women. 80% of my senior leadership team are women. And we continue to hire women. We do have limitations in women career sets in the stem cells, in science, in technology, in engineering, in mathematicians. I mean, those focus areas are limited. But if you have the skill, you have the expertise, you have the ability, no one can stop you from shining. You are your own cheerleader. Go out there, celebrate yourself, and be committed. The world is your playground. It's full of opportunities just waiting for you to grab them.
Wow, well said.
Yeah.
We need to end this show right now and we go home. We should. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Christine, Tasif has brought a very valid point that we need to be our own cheerleaders. But more often than not, women have been accused of, coming face to face with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you keep telling yourself that there are things that you cannot do. You know, there are always this ghost in your head or people in your mind that keep telling you that there are certain limits you cannot push. What has been your experience with that?
My experience with that, I have experienced that a lot, especially, playing small when you are actually not small. So mostly I just remind myself of the accomplishments I have done so far. And we say don't compare, but I do compare myself with my peers and see where I'm at, and just, it's like patting yourself, like you're doing better, keep doing it. And also just try to be connecting myself with people who are, building you up, people who are pumping the energy to you. People like Maribel, Tosif, and my other friends, the people who nominated me were my friends. But you don't have to open your circle to be big enough so that you can be more popular, or, just have a small circle that appreciates you, that builds you up, because that's where you get the energy from. And, being your own cheerleader, like Tosif said, sometimes nobody claps for you. When I won my first award, I told my mom, like not a lot of people are reacting the way my head is at, like people are supposed to be, yeah. I was expecting, it was my first. So in the way that I was excited for me, that was that was what I was imagining in my head, like, hey, people will be like, yeah, look, I'm walking, a global award winner. But sometimes you have to clap for yourself. My mom told me, you just clap for yourself and keep moving forward, because most of the time nobody claps for you. You have to achieve something, tick that box, and see how you're walking towards the next big thing. So that's mostly what I have been inclined to, and also having a few mentors here and there who are able to advise you accordingly, who will tell you, don't do this, do that, don't go that way, go this way. Because in as much as we want to clap for ourselves and direct our own future, we also need someone who can guide us into going into the right direction. Yeah.
How did you This show, one of the things we do is actually to connect women to markets, to networks. We empower women. How did you find your way, through different industries, applying for opportunities? How do you do it? Is it something that your networks opened up for you, or is it something that you do on your own? How exactly do you connect with the world? How do you open up to the world about what you do?
Yeah. It's like a drug. I try to find new opportunities almost every day. Like immediately I wake up and I do a few things. I try to see what's going on, what's the new opportunity that I can tap into, but also trying to, I don't know how to call it. Sometimes you can think globally and try to want to be the big person in the world, but around you there are resources that you can tap into. There are certain people that can actually open up opportunities for you. So in as much as I think globally, I also like to look around me and see what can I do with what I have, the resources that I have, how can I utilize them fully. So I use my I have a very small circle that I connect with daily. I have someone who keeps me accountable. Have you done this? Have you done that? You're supposed to do this. This is the deadline. Where are you? Because you have to be on your toes. I realized in this world, things just happen to you if you drive yourself towards it. Because if you just wait there and say women empowerment, and it's going to be a make-believe. But once you get out there, try to talk to your small circle, small connection, use the social media as much as possible, try to see what other people are doing, do a research on what's going on around your the work that you're doing, and that's when you will find that gap. There's always that gap that you can always fill, because your skills are needed somewhere. So I use social media as much as possible to find opportunities mostly, and to see who I can connect with to be able to open me up fully. Yeah, and also keeping family close. I talk to my dad a lot about advice, wisdom and old age. So just to get a few wise words here and there to just cope. Yeah.
I wish I could say the same for the youth of this country. Mary Ben, I have some figures here, and they say that the figures say that half of Kenya's population is below 30, and the youth comprise 65% of Kenya's population. The youth is up to 35 years old.
35 years.
Oh, some officially old.
Sometimes you do say till 40.
Till 40.
Yeah, you always use that hat.
We can push it a bit.
Yeah.
But from these statistics that I'm from National Bureau of Statistics actually say that 39% of this 65% of Kenya's population remain unemployed. Majority of them actually graduate or go to college and look forward to white-collar jobs.
Yeah.
Yes. And that explains why from time to time we have people with a very interesting strategy of job hunting. I print something on a board and I walk on the streets and look for a job.
Yeah.
What do you think, how do you think we need, two questions. Do you think that having a job is equivalent to having a white-collar job, or is there a way around it? Yeah.
Okay, I would answer it in this way.
Yeah.
The problem is not even the government not giving us jobs.
Yeah.
The problem is us as individuals. What do we want? You get someone goes to the university, they graduate, and all they want, just like you've said, they want a white-collar job. they don't want to do any hard job. You know, being an entrepreneur or there's a difference between a business person and an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
A business person is a market player, an entrepreneur is a market leader.
Yeah.
We come into the market, you get a hotel, like the hotel industry, you look at it, you transform it, you make something out of it. But for a business person, they still continue with the hotel industry. The problem is youths in Kenya like quick money. They don't want to work hard, they don't want to dig their hands in the mud, they just want quick money. You give them a job they don't want to do. There's someone who complained on social media. He said he called someone, he gave them a driving job. The next day the person came, there's no tile in the car, something has happened. There's always an excuse. And it was a clear indication that it is not the government, it's us. We are the problem. My first employees were youths. I said, I want to do something with the youths. Trust you me. They would go for work, come back in the evening, they would complain, and I would ask them, what is the problem? They went to fumigation in a house in Runda, so they've come back, they're very stressed, they don't want to do that job. And I'm like, why? They say they want to live in Runda. I'm like, do you think the person in Runda started today? He didn't start today, he started 20 years ago to reach where he has reached. And the guys, actually there were 2 boys, they told me they don't want job anymore. Trust you me, 3 weeks down the line, the guys called me and they said they're hungry, I should send them money for lunch. And his house is being locked, I should pay for him a rent. And I asked him, why should I pay for you rent? Well, I gave you a job.
You quit my job.
And you can't do. And I was going with them and do the fumigation. In fact, a lot of people, when I go to a client's house and they see, or a hotel, they see it's me, a lady, doing fumigation, they always have actually you see they're puzzled. They have a question mark, a lady doing fumigation, because it's a male-dominated area. And another thing is the kind of role models we have in Kenya. I look at the role models we have and I pity the upcoming generation, because all they know, I don't say making money on social media is bad. Another person also said that when TikTok was created, I actually also joined TikTok the other day. He said when TikTok was created, a lot of African countries, we are participating on TikTok and not in innovation. And the country that innovated TikTok, they are busy coming up with innovations. So us, we are being made to waste our time more, while them, they're investing more, or rather innovating more. So when you meet a young person, they tell you, no, we were told I can make quick money on this, I can make quick money on that. I
can be a social media TikTok influencer.
Yes, they're telling you, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to have. Imagine if someone grows up being a TikTok influencer, and in 10 or 15 years' time, TikTok goes away, the person will be jobless, and probably the person will be 45, no skills, no nothing. They're just there. And we should stop blaming the government. The problem needs to start with us.
We have to change our attitude.
Yes, it is us. We are the ones who have a problem. And another thing, people should stop focusing on white-collar jobs alone. There are other great opportunities. There's agriculture, there's entrepreneurship. Whichever department you want to pick, just pick and start working from there. The government will not come and give you jobs. Each and every year we always say that each and every, after elections, a new government will say we are going to create 90% jobs for the youth.
We'll give you money.
Where? And in fact, if you give someone money who is not skilled, the person will go and enjoy the money. Atapigia mwili pole. The first thing you give a youth, mostly the youths, you give them 50,000. The only thing that runs in their mind is wacha nipige mwili pole.
Piga luku.
Na kupiga luku. Bas. In fact, that is what I had. There's some names they were calling, and you look at someone. He wants to shine on social media. They want to look good, but there's nothing they're doing. And end of the day, they'll start saying the government is not creating jobs. You see, one thing, when you go, I'm a born-again Christian, when you go back to the Bible, when you go back now to the spiritual aspect, the Bible says your talents and gift will place you before the kings and queens. Not your job. Not your job. But a lot of people are looking for jobs. They don't want to develop themselves. And that's why the Western side is much more better than us. Yeah, and I would just tell people it's time to look deep down yourself. What can you do as an individual?
As a person.
Yes.
If I were to translate what you're saying correctly, is when you figure out what your purpose is, then
Yeah.
it ceases to be a job.
Yes,
Yeah, it ceases to be something, your life's mission.
yes.
And you will do it and you will fulfill your life and other things will follow.
I normally tell people, if you want to succeed in any area, be it whether you're selling groundnuts on the street, you're selling eggs, if you want to succeed, as long as you align your purpose, your vision and your mission, you will hit the target. There's a guy I know in town, the guy used to hawk bananas. Shock on you, Queen, the guy right now makes 1 million per day.
Okay, what is it?
Not per month. So when the guy was hawking bananas, he saw a niche. He asked the guys who were bringing bananas from Kisii, how much will they charge him for a whole bunch? And the guys told them, if you get it from Kisii and you're getting a lot, we'll give you at 50 shillings. And he spoke to another person who can transport them from Kisii to Nairobi.
City, yes.
So the guys agreed. Then he went to the market and spoke to the mamas in the market. If I give you this bunch per day, how much can you be giving me? And the mamas agreed. So the guy started bringing the bananas from Kisii to Nairobi early in the morning. He gives the hawkers, he gives to the other mamas in Mudura. And by the end of the day, the guy collects his million, Bob.
From bananas?
From bananas.
Okay, that's a business idea. Dear jobless youth looking for a white-collar job. Well said. To see if you are an employer, how has the experience been for you working with young people? Yeah.
I wouldn't really say I'm an employer.
You are a decision maker.
I am.
Yes,
I am a decision maker,
yes.
and with my position, of course, the leadership position that I hold, they say leadership is using your influence and your power to help others. So I think in the position that I am in, we have a lot of young staff, and a lot of mentorship happens at that level. From the accounting body that I am related to, which is ACCA, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, we're also requested to mentor students in that fraternity. And I think it's really nice to know that not only through our professional capabilities and our experience that we have learned, be it our religion, our culture, we are able to nurture the young. We are able to see, and we shouldn't even just say young, but even our own children. You know, and I'm a strong believer that parenting is not something that you can delegate. You have to do it yourself. So why don't you first start with your children? What lessons are you teaching them at home? You know, sometimes we reach that time in our lives where we have to unlearn, relearn, and learn again. So I think it's all about encouraging, inspiring, but also to just follow what Christine is saying, comparison. It's really an evil. You know, they say that I would like to be the next Elon Musk, or I would like to be the next Warren Buffett. So even when you're comparing yourself, there's a very fine line between comparing and inspiring. Are you inspired, or are you comparing out of evil? What is really inside your heart? So for me, the message really to the youth is that you are your own unique masterpiece. Go out there and try different ideas. Most of the times we can't try ideas because we fear. Whenever we are trying to set up a new biashara, we say, oh no, what if I fail? What if I take a loan? What if I can't pay it back? What will my colleagues think? We are often thinking about what others will think of us. So go out there, you're your own unique masterpiece, and don't use a cookie cutter approach. You know, that if it worked for Queen, it's going to work for me. No, you're your own unique masterpiece. Get out there, try new ideas, and support each other. I think most of the time we need to have a big heart, that the people who we are nurturing, the people who we are mentoring, this youth, we should have a big heart to be able to see them succeed, not to bring them down. We should keep supporting them, keep being there for them. And I think when we are in that position, Queen, we are blessed, because we are intermediaries from the God Almighty. He has chosen us to help somebody else, and we should feel blessed, and we shouldn't feel like, you know, we are God's gift to mankind. We should come down and be at their level and practice compassion. But one thing that I'd really like to stress upon is, as we practice compassion, I think we have to also learn to respect each other more. You know, right from the doorman to the chairman, you have to have that level of respect within you, whether you're a mother, a leader, a CEO. That respect for the humankind it's so important, and I see that slowly, you know, going away and one-upmanship happening. We have to stop talking small. We have to stop being small. We have to rise above ourselves and rise others above us.
Well said. You managed to achieve 64% in terms of gender equality at your workplace, right?
Yes.
How did you do it?
So it was a concerted effort. I joined in the MP Shah Hospital, and I was laughing with my colleagues here that I was even born in that hospital. So it really has a very personal place for me, MP Shah Hospital.
Yes, yeah.
So by virtue of it being a hospital, many of our nurses are women. So automatically that increases the threshold for women. But my aim was to be able to see that the women in senior management team, how can we bring them there? You know, there may be nurses, but at the senior level, there are very few women. So it doesn't mean that every second woman who comes for an interview, I hire her. Does she have the skills? Does she have the expertise? Does she have the ability? And more importantly, does she have the attitude to be able to take that job hands-on? Is she ready to get her hands dirty? So it's a very concerted effort, and if I find that woman, I'm the first person to hire. And I'm also a firm believer that we have to first grow within the organization. We immediately start publishing advertisements outside and say we're looking for such and such a position. But first the advertisement should be done. How do we nurture our own employees? It's like the way we are mothers. When our children misbehave and they're naughty, we reprimand them briefly and say, don't do this, this is right. We don't throw them out. The same way for our employees, when they make mistakes, nurture them, give them a helping hand, put them on a performance plan, say, you know what, you've not done this, give them a chance, because I strongly believe everyone deserves a second chance.
Well, this can only happen on her standards. We are hanging out with the Africa Top 40 Under 40 award winners. And clearly, from the conversation, you can see why these phenomenal women, youthful women, brought home those awards. We hope we can celebrate them on a national platform. Is anyone watching from the government? I think these women deserve more recognition because of what they did for our country. In case you want to talk to us, we are available at KTN Home on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can also hit me up at Quintambori, or you can talk to our Madam Producer. We're about to finish, but not without asking my guests for today. The next awards they are bagging for themselves and for the country, and then we'll just close up and finish the show, wind up the show. So let me start with Mary Ben. What is your next big plan?
Actually, there's a project I'm coming up with that is gonna help unemployment in Kenya. I might be launching it in the next few weeks. I'll still come back and talk about it.
Yes, please. You're welcome.
Yeah, now that I carried the top 35 under 35 Kenya hospitality, Eastern Africa ambassador, and a global startup in South Africa.
Okay.
I also have the Rising Star Award under Women on Board. I was the second runners-up. Now the top 40 under 40 Africa. I'm actually eyeing for the Forbes 40. Now I think it will be 50. Is it 50 under 50?
Congratulations in advance.
Thank you. I'm aiming for the Forbes. You know, the best part about Forbes is it's them who look for you. So I just hope
that they see you.
They see me, yes.
Obviously. I believe they'll see you.
That's my prayer.
Good stuff. Tasif.
I'm not a big fan, queen of awards. And I just say that this award that I've got, I accept it with a lot of humility. And I'm really thankful to the God Almighty. But for me, what is important is that what is this award going to do for the people who I'm interacting with? Is it inspiring people? Is it helping people? Is it creating value for other people? Right now, the project that I'm working on is not linked to awards, but it's linked to something that Christine is also doing. I'm doing my PhD in sustainability with the Strathmore Business School, and that all my attention is there. I really want to bring sustainability in the healthcare space, and that's something that I really want to focus on. But I do wish Mary Ben and the other teams, as they bag other awards, I'm sure I'm going to tag along with them.
You'll tag along. And let me tell you, if top 40 under 40 was not anywhere in your radar, but you still got it, trust you me.
She'll be there.
Something else will come up. I can tell you for free something else will come up. All right. Christine, what is in your next plan?
My dreams have no limit. I don't have a cap for, for where I want to be at, but I really want to be in conversations where I am driving change, discussions on youth empowerment, on women empowerment as well. Just use what I have to be able to build others who want to come up. And if that comes with an award, very much welcome. But as long as I'm in a space where I'm serving people, I'm serving humanity, is all that makes me, feel that feeling of satisfaction. Yeah.
Oh. Well, thank you so much, ladies. We can hang out more and more when you bag those awards, when you finish your PhD. Let's have, more of these setups. Let's talk, let's celebrate ourselves, let's celebrate our wins. But I'm just grateful that you're able to share with us on Her Standards.
Thank you.
Well, this has been Her Standards with me, your host, Queen Tambori. As usual, I am always excited and also inspired by the stories that come on this show. Let's not end the conversations right now. We can log on to our social media platforms. Tell us what you think about today's episode of Her Standards, where we were celebrating Africa's winner, Africa Top 40 Under 40. And these are amazing, youthful Kenyan women who represented our country, and we are more than excited that we were able to host them on our show. A big thank you to our host for today, Tamarind Tree Hotel. If you want to know more about them, please check out their social media platforms in order to interact with the amazing services that they offer here. From us here at KTN Home, thank you so much for keeping it here. We hope to see you next week, same time. Bye for now.